Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about what persuasive speech is and why it matters. Have you ever listened to someone speak and ended up changing your opinion even without realizing it at first? Maybe it was an advertisement that made you want to buy something, a campaign video that made you support an idea, or a friend convincing you to join an event you were unsure about. That is the power of persuasive speech. Persuasive speech is all around us. We hear it in classrooms, on television, on social media, in politics, and even in everyday conversations. It is one of the most useful forms of communication because it does not simply give information. It tries to influence what people think, feel, or do. Today, I want to tell you that persuasive speech is an important communication skill because it helps people influence others using credibility, emotion, and logic. First, we need to understand what persuasive speech actually is. According to the National Speech and Debate Association, persuasive speech is designed to convince an audience to accept an idea or take action. That means the speaker is not only sharing facts, the speaker also has a goal. For example, a persuasive speaker may try to convince students to reduce phone use during class, encourage people to volunteer in their community, or motivate listeners to care about environmental issues. According to virtual speech, a persuasive speech usually contains a clear argument, supporting reasons, and a call to action. This structure helps the audience follow the message and understand why the issue matters. Second, persuasive speech works because of three important appeals: ethos, pathos, and logos. According to the University of Toledo, these are the main modes of persuasion. They help a speaker build a stronger and more convincing message. Let us start with ethos. Ethos is the appeal to credibility and trust. According to the University of Arkansas Walton College, ethos is built when the speaker shows knowledge, honesty, and good character. If the audience believes the speaker is trustworthy, they are more likely to accept the message. For example, if a doctor speaks about health, people are more likely to believe the doctor because of their expertise. The same idea applies in speeches. A speaker who sounds prepared, informed, and sincere will usually have a stronger impact. The second appeal is pathos. Pathos is the appeal to emotion. According to the University of Toledo, pathos helps connect the speaker to the audience by making them feel something. Speakers often use stories, vivid examples, and emotional language to create this connection. For example, if a speaker is trying to persuade people to help homeless children, they may tell a personal story about a child who struggles every day. That story can make the audience feel sympathy, concern, or compassion. According to Stanford University, emotional appeals are powerful because people are often influenced not just by facts, but by how those facts make them feel. Third appeal is logos. Logos is the appeal to logic and reason. According to CCBCMD library guides, logos uses facts, evidence, statistics, and clear reasoning to support a claim. This appeal helps the audience understand why the argument makes sense. For example, if a speaker wants to persuade people to exercise more, they might explain that regular physical activity improves heart health, reduces stress, and increases energy. This kind of logical explanation makes the message stronger because it gives the audience a clear reason to agree. According to the University of Arkansas Walton College, logos is especially important when a speaker wants to prove that their idea is reasonable and practical. When ethos, pathos, and logos are used together, persuasive speech becomes much more effective. A speaker can build trust, connect emotionally, and provide logical support all at the same time. That combination is what makes a speech memorable and convincing. But persuasive speech matters because it is used in everyday life. According to Studies Matter, persuasion appears in many areas such as classroom, workplaces, politics, advertisements, and social media. In fact, we face persuasive messages almost every day. Companies try to persuade us to buy products, influencers try to persuade us to follow trends, politicians try to persuade us to support policies. Even our friends persuade us when they ask us to go somewhere or try something new. Persuasive speech also helps us in our own communication. When we know how persuasion works, we can present our ideas more clearly and confidently. According to the National Speech and Debate Association, good persuasive speaking helps speaker organize arguments, support opinions, and encourage action. This skill is useful in school presentations, group discussions, interviews, and even future careers. Whether we are trying to convince a teacher, a team, a client, or a crowd, persuasive speaking can help us communicate more effectively. To sum up, persuasive speech is a vital communication skill because it helps speakers influence others through credibility, emotion, and logic. It is different from informative speech because it is meant to convince, not just explain. According to the sources I mentioned, persuasive speech uses ethos, pathos, and logos, and it is important in many parts of daily life. It shapes our decisions, strengthens our communication, and helps us think more critically about the messages around us. So the next time you hear a speech, watch an advertisement, or scroll through social media, pay attention to how the speaker is trying to persuade you. Ask yourself what techniques they are using and whether their message is based on trust, emotion, or reason. Persuasive speech gives us the power to move ideas into action. When we understand it, we do not just become better speakers, we also become better listeners and more thoughtful people. Thank you, that's all from me.